Welcome to another Score 8 video. Um, I hope everybody is doing well. So then again, I received another question from a student who is trying to get into college and is, trying to get familiar with all of these questions. So then again, I received these questions. Let's read this question and let's see what it is, what they're talking about. So they're saying that a machine takes any cardboard paper rectangle, any cardboard rectangle. So a machine takes any cardboard rectangle and cuts off a square with a side length that is equal to the length of the rectangle's shorter side. Julia had a rectangle and using only the machine, it was split into 7 squares with side length 5 centimeters, 2 medium squares, and 3 large squares. What were the dimensions of Julia's rectangle? So this is what we are dealing with, and I hope that you guys, I will break it down the way that I understood it. Again, I'm not perfect. Some people are out there who know how to do this even better. But then if you see any mistakes or anything, you can let me know so that we deal with it. But for your information, I have a degree in mathematics and I will be supporting you guys with the best of my abilities. Okay, now, so if I understood this question, so there is a rectangular cardboard paper and we are using a machine to cut it off into squares. So I want us to do something. I want us to start by sketching it and see how it goes from there. Let's say this is our cardboard paper. You start cutting out squares. Cut. Start cutting out squares. Start cutting out squares. Cut out squares. Like that. And unfortunately, this cardboard paper could only cut 3 big squares, right? It could only cut out 3 big squares. But then you see that this piece, this third piece right here, this third piece right here is a rectangle. It's not a square, so it cannot form a big square. So what we are gonna do to this rectangle is change the way we cut it. We were cutting it vertically. We were cutting it vertically like that. We were cutting it vertically. Now we are gonna cut horizontally. You see. Now, so you see now that this now was we now can now form 2 medium squares. 2 medium squares. So let's say this is a medium square. This is another medium square. Those are 2 medium squares. So this is a large square. This is a large square. This is a large square. This is a medium square. This is a medium square. And then again, when you cut it like this, you will realize that this one here cannot move from a square, right? This section here cannot form a square. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna start cutting it vertically once again to form a square. So we start cutting it vertically to form a square. So what we are gonna do now is we are gonna cut this one into. So remember they said 2 medium squares, 3 large squares, and we had again 7 small squares, right? 7 small squares. So we are gonna cut this one into 7 small squares. Please, it might not be a square, but consider that this is a square. All right, let's consider that this is a square. So we are just gonna cut this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. So we are going to cut it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say these are 7 small squares, right? Let's consider these to be squares. And then again, they are not squares really, but let's say they are squares. Now you will see that they don't look like squares, but let's consider that they are squares. So they said the dimension of these squares were 5, 5 for each square, right? The dimensions were 5, 5 for each square. So what is going on here? So we have what here? So that if the dimension is 5, 5, so this will be 5 times 7, which will give us 35. So it means that all of this length is 35. The length of this base is 35. So it means all of this is 35. And this one will be 35. It also will be 35. This will be 35. So since this is 35, 35, because they are squares by definition, so this will be all of these now will be, 35 plus 35 plus 5, which will give us what? 75. And all of these will be what? 3 times 75. So all of this will be 3 times 75 then again. So 3 times 75, you can multiply 70 times 3, which is what? 70 times 3 is 210, or 210 plus 25, 210 plus 15, I mean to say. 210 plus 15 will give us what? Sometimes your brain gets a little bit messed up, but it's fine. So 210 plus 15 is 225. I hope so. I hope I'm correct, right? Everybody tell me I'm correct. So it would be 225. So 225 for that. So since it is 225, so all of this length now, from here to there will be what? 225 plus 35. So that will be what? That will be 30 plus 30, that is 260. 260. So the dimension will be what? The dimension will be 260. The dimension will be 260. Dimension will be 260. And what? 75? 75. 260, 75. So the length of the cardboard paper that they were dealing with was 260, and the width was 75. Then again, I hope you guys understand this. I hope you guys get it. If you have any question, you can get to me. You can respond to it. You can text me on the chat. You can put it on the chat so that, I could be able to explain it better. But then this is the way I think this problem could be solved. Thank you.